Breece Hall to the Chicago Bears. It sounds like a Madden fever dream, but the rumors are swirling that Chicago is ready to drop a nuclear bomb on the NFC North by upgrading an already elite backfield. We are breaking down the internal source reports that have the front office eyeing a superstar swap that could leave DeAndre Swift on the outside looking in, and the details emerging from Halas Hall are absolutely electric. If you want to stay ahead of every massive roster move during this wild 2026 offseason, do yourself a favor, smash that like button, share this video with the rest of the Midway faithful, and subscribe right now so you never miss a breaking update on the future of this franchise. Let's get real about Breece Hall for a second. We are talking about a guy who has spent his career playing hero ball for a New York Jets team that basically forgot how to throw a forward pass. Despite the revolving door at quarterback and offensive lines that look like turnstiles, Hall has been a statistical anomaly. He just finished 2025 with over 1,000 rushing yards and proved that he is finally 100% back from that ACL injury. He is a top 10 back who can punish you between the tackles and then flip a switch to become a 70-catch threat out of the backfield. He is only 24 years old, he has fresh legs because he wasn't overused early on, and he is arguably the best, complete, back hitting the market. Imagine putting a weapon like that into a Ben Johnson offense. Johnson is a master of leverage, a coach who understands how to use the run to set up the most devastating play-action looks in the league. Last year, the Bears finished with the third-best rushing attack in the NFL, but it felt like they were missing that one home run threat who could take it to the house from anywhere on the field. Hall isn't just a playmaker, he's an identity shifter. He's bigger, faster, and more physical than DeAndre Swift, and he has a knack for breaking those shoestring tackles that often stalled our drives last season. When Breece Hall hits the secondary, he's not looking for the sideline, he's looking for the end zone. Now, the cost is the sticking point, and we have to be smart about the cap. Pro Football Focus projects a 3-year, $37 million deal with $25 million guaranteed for Hall. That's roughly $3 million per year. To put that in perspective, DeAndre Swift is set to count for $8 million against the cap this year. If the Bears decide to move on, cutting Swift would save the team $5 million in cold, hard cap space. That means the jump from a solid starter to a global superstar only costs the front office an extra $8 million. When you consider the cap is rising and we have a quarterback in Caleb Williams who is still on his rookie deal, that $8 million feels like a small price to pay for a guy who could lead the league in scrimmage yards. Question of the day: if you were the GM, would you rather stick with DeAndre Swift's chemistry and experience, or would you pull the trigger on a blockbuster $12 million a year deal for Breece Hall? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But Hall isn't the only name on the list. The second name being discussed is Tyler Allgeier from the Falcons. Now, I've liked Allgeier since his 1,000-yard rookie campaign, and even with Bijan Robinson taking the lead in Atlanta, Allgeier has remained a high-end rotational piece. He's a physical, downhill runner, exactly the kind of thumper who thrives in cold-weather games at Soldier Field. However, we have to look at the roster construction. We already have a physical, young runner in Kyle Manengai. As a 7th-round rookie last year, Manengai was a revelation, putting up nearly 800 yards and proving he can handle the heavy lifting. If you swap Swift for Allgeier, you're essentially pairing two Thunder backs together. You lose the lightning element. PFF's projection of $9 million a year for Allgeier feels like a massive reach for a guy who might just be a duplicate of what we already have in-house. The real genius move might be the Packers' strategy. A few years back, our rivals in Green Bay had a fan favorite in Aaron Jones. He was productive, he was loved, but they saw an opportunity to get younger and more powerful with Josh Jacobs. They didn't wait for Jones to decline. They moved while his value was high. Ryan Poles could do the exact same thing here. By keeping Swift on the roster through the first wave of free agency, he protects the floor of the room. But the second a deal for Breece Hall or even Kenneth Walker, who might be the most underrated runner in the league, becomes a reality, you make the swap. Kenneth Walker is another name to watch if Seattle doesn't use the franchise tag. He's a pure, violent runner who would fit the monsters of the Midway mantra perfectly. We also have to talk about the new energy in the building. With the hiring of Eric Studsville as the running backs coach, the Bears are sending a clear message. They want elite development. Studsville has worked with some of the best in the business, and he knows how to turn a good running game into a historic one. Whether it's helping a veteran like Hall reach a new gear or molding a young stud like Menengai into a Pro Bowler, the infrastructure is now in place for a legendary backfield. Ultimately, this comes down to how much you believe in the Ben Johnson effect. In his first year, Johnson took a team that was searching for an identity and turned them into NFC North champions. He did that with Swift and a rookie 7th rounder. Now, imagine what he does with a Ferrari in the backfield. Swift was great for us, don't get me wrong, but his longest run of the season was only 36 yards. In the playoffs, those 36-yard gains need to be 60-yard touchdowns. Breece Hall is the guy who provides that extra gear. As we look toward free agency, the Bears are in an enviable position. We have the draft capital, we have the cap space, and we have a destination that players actually want to come to. Breece Hall has already hinted on social media that he's ready for a bigger stage, and there isn't a bigger stage in the NFL right now than Caleb Williams' Chicago Bears. If the front office can make the numbers work, we could be looking at the most dangerous offense this city has seen since the 1940s. I'm personally leaning toward the aggressive move. You don't win Super Bowls by being comfortable with your roster, you win by relentlessly seeking upgrades. DeAndre Swift served his purpose and helped us win the division, but if the goal is a trophy, you have to be willing to upgrade to a Breece Hall or a Kenneth Walker. The running back doesn't matter. Crowd is quiet when they see a guy like Hall break 3 tackles on a screen pass and take it 70 yards for the game-winning score. That is the level of playmaking we need to finally take down the heavyweights of the NFC. I want to hear from you. Is the risk of breaking up the Swift-Menengai chemistry too high, or is the reward of Breece Hall just too good to pass up? This offseason is going to be a roller coaster, and the backfield is just the beginning of the story. Stay locked in, keep the conversation going in the comments, and as always, bear down.